Hey Sheldon, Josh Hosang was named to the Olympic roster officially today. I'm curious what your thoughts on that are and what you've got to learn from him over the course of his time with the Marlies through reports from the team and whatnot.
I think it's obviously great for him. It's a great opportunity and a great honor. Playing the Olympics is obviously very rare for an athlete. Excuse me, an athlete, and yeah, I think it's tremendous for him. Right? And as far as his time in our organization, he's done nothing but work extremely hard. They've been happy with him down there with the Marlies. He's produced for them, and most importantly, had a good attitude and worked and is working to get better and sort of reestablish himself here in North America. So I think he's done a good job of that, and recognition of the Olympics is obviously a very good thing. And I think all that is through the work that he's put in, combined with, of course, the talent that he has.
Also, I was wondering if you can give us an update on Ian Scotty's practice with you guys for the last couple of days. Is he a taxi squad guy or is he back to full health?
I'm not certain, to be honest, what his exact status is. I know that he recently went and played a period with the Growlers, and that went well, and he's just continuing on the path of, of getting himself back ready to play games and full games. So that's really it, as far as I know. Well, obviously he's here. When he's with us, we're gonna get him some work and take advantage of having him around.
Next up, we'll go to Lance Hornby, Toronto Sun. Go ahead, Lance.
Sheldon, Jason Spezza said Anaheim, quote unquote, has your attention after beating Tampa Bay and Boston. Just wonder if you could elaborate a little bit on tomorrow's game.
Well, I mean, obviously that's two things that certainly would get our attention, but they've been a good team all season long. They went through a tough stretch here the last little while, but they were as good as any team in the league when we saw them last, and they were really rolling. So lots of talent, good mix of young talent and veteran talent, and we're obviously going to have to be ready for that. But as always, the game is about our game and having ourselves playing, looking a lot more like what we did the other night in Long Island. And if we do that, then we give ourselves a chance.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll go to Kevin McGran, Toronto Star. Go ahead, Kevin. Kevin, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. At the risk of jinxing things, it looks like tomorrow night could be your last in an empty stadium. I wonder how you feel about that, the possibility of bringing fans back later, and the problems with trying to develop your own mojo in an empty building.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, the status of what's happening with the fans and whatnot. We're just taking it a day at a time. But obviously knowing that tomorrow it's going to be an empty building again, that's something for us to adjust back to. We had experience with it, of course, a ton of it last season, and starting back here up after Christmas, dealing with it and then getting back out on the road. We've played in not just full buildings, but some of the loudest and most intense buildings that you're going to find in the league. So it is going to be an adjustment and a change for us, but it's, the opposition is going to be going through the same thing. It's, of course, we miss our fans. It's been so great to be able to play in front of them this season again, and not having them certainly makes you miss them and appreciate them that much more. But we have a hockey game to play tomorrow night, and the opponent's going to come in that we're going to have to be sharp and be ready and find a way to create our own energy.
Thanks.
Next up, we'll go to Luke Fox, Sportsnet. Go ahead, Luke.
Hi, Sheldon. As we approach the halfway mark of your season here, what would you say is the most surprising thing you've learned about your group over the last few months?
I don't know that I would use the term surprised with anything. I think, we feel pretty good about the way things have gone, and there's nothing that I would say is exceeded expectations or anything like that, or there's anything that has not gone well, it does caught us off guard, anything like that. I think when we look at the season as a whole to date, we're happy with where we're at, and we feel like there's things we can certainly get better at. The nice thing, though, I would say that has certainly come out of it is you look at the additions that we've made to the roster this season, and and there's uncertainty about how those things were going to play out, and how the chemistry would work, and how players would perform for us. And I think that's where we certainly have learned to a great deal of respect and trust for those that have come in here this season. And you used to look at Bunting and Kasha and Camp, in particular on the forward end, and what they've added, and you can see Peter Mrazek now, starting to get some momentum in our practice days, and a great start the other night. So all the way through our group, we look at that, and I think that's what I would say has been very nice to see, and it certainly has worked out in our favor and has given us increased depth.
Who's going to start in net for you guys tomorrow?
Jack Campbell will start tomorrow. I mean, that's, again, was always the plan to have him go back at it. So we'll stay with that.
Thanks.
We'll take two more here. We'll go to Jonas Siegel with The Athletic. Go ahead, Jonas.
Hey, Sheldon, what do you think Mitch does so well to create opportunities for himself and others on the penalty kill?
His ability to anticipate plays. I think that's the biggest thing. He generally has a pretty good sense of where the puck's going to go, oftentimes before the opponent even knows it's going to go there, just because he's reading what the most likely option is going to be, and he has the ability to process that quicker than most. And then he can jump on the puck quickly and create turnovers, and he's feisty and relentless on it. So I think that leads to loose pucks and opportunities to go the other way. So I think anticipation is the key, like it is really for both sides of the puck, offensively and defensively. But certainly when you have that ability, it can really be an asset for you on the penalty kill.
And the last one here, we'll go to Mark Masters, TSN. Go ahead, Mark.
Sheldon, how do you feel the new lines have looked in practice these last couple of days, and is it your intention to debut them against the Ducks tomorrow?
I think they've looked good. We've been happy with them. I mean, these lines have been used before, right? I mean, Bunting, Matthews, Cash have been very good when together this season. We've used Tavares with Marner and Mikheyev a lot over my time here, so that's not new for me. And then Camp centering Kerfoot and Nylander is new, but Kerfoot and Nylander in particular have had a great deal of time together and great chemistry. And in fact, together we're our most productive line in the playoffs against Montreal last season for us. So those kind of things, lead me to not read too much into what I'm seeing in practice, whether it was good or bad. But I think it's been a good opportunity for those guys to get reps and get comfortable, because that is how we're going to start tomorrow. And like I said, we want to get a look at that, and we'll adjust along the way if need be. But we do have to give it some time to play out a little bit as well, if we really want to be true to the process of seeing how this composition can play out for our team, and also how the opponents contend with that.
The guys have been raving about Morgan Rielly the last couple of days, calling him underrated. He made it clear he doesn't really care about that stuff. He's very comfortable with how he's viewed in his position. I'm wondering what you think his demeanor means to him, and what's it mean to the team that he doesn't care about that stuff?
Yeah, I think we've talked about this countless times. I think that's a big part of Morgan's character, and why he's so revered by his teammates and by our fans and within the organization, is just how he conducts himself and how he handles himself. He is all about the team. He's got a great talent and great ability to leave his mark on every game and make a difference in every game. And he's certainly been doing that for us, but it's his character and how he conducts himself off the ice that makes players want to speak out about the fact that he may be deserving of more recognition around the league. But I don't think he's too worried about that. He's just doing his job every day, and when he's focused on that, he's a great player. It makes a big difference, and all the other things will come with our team's success, no doubt. I think there's a lot of great players around the league that are deserving of playing in an all-star game, for example. And there's only so many spots available, but it's just a matter of maintaining a high level of play and focusing on what you can control. And Morgan certainly epitomizes that.